In 2018, I received the Nobel Peace Prize, and what I could see clear was that I got a new platform to talk about the question of sexual violence and related to conflict. And this really was an opportunity because at many places, conflict related sexual violence was not really a question on the table, but I could see after this Nobel Peace Prize at many places this question was really on the agenda, and this was great. I can say that we still have many problems that are not addressed at all. But the fact that we are talking now about it and we can discuss it, we have many conferences are talking about it. I think that this is already a start. I was fighting for reparation for women for many years. In 2010, for example, we got a high-level panel to discuss about this question, and we tried to get solution because women who are victims of sexual violence can't wait 10 years, 20 years to wait justice before really to get reparation. Sometimes they can even die before to get this reparation because when they are infected, where they are wounded and so on, they need to get a treatment before the justice, immediately. And in 2018, I received the Nobel Peace Prize. And 2019, we just created a Global Survivor Fund with the resolution 2467. And with this resolution, we got this Global Survivor Fund who are supporting countries and supporting victims to give them interim reparation. And this is really great because now I think that it's, for me, it's a progress, if we can see it like that. In Congo, we did some pilot projects, and it was clear that for many women to receive this interim reparation helped them just to make their file and fight for their own right because they are in a good condition. But when someone is excluded without any protection and so on, to ask him to go to justice is very hard. To go to justice, you need to be mentally enough strong to go to justice. And for us to support them with this interim reparation is a way really to help them to go to justice and to go to justice in a condition where their dignity is respected. Yes, I believe that without accountability, it's a way to accept that rape just go on in our society. Because when the perpetrators have impression that nothing can happen to them, so why they have to stop? I think that the only one way is really the society. We need to support victims. This is one thing. And the second thing is to help victims to access to justice. And it's not, sometimes people have the impression that justice is only repression for perpetrators. Not only repression, it's also a way to support victims to understand that the society supports them. The society don't accept what happened to them. And this is very important because sometimes victims have impression that it was my fault. They have a kind of to feel that, okay, it happened and no one will believe that it happened to me. I think that justice is really a way to support victims, and it's a way also to teach, I can say, perpetrators that the society can't accept the way that you are treating women in our area. I think that we have, for example, in my country, we have good laws, but these laws are not at all implemented. we need really to enforce this law so the victim can feel that if it happened to me, I can go to justice. But when they have the impression that nothing will happen, so even if the law is there, so I think that at each level we need to work on it. The law can be enforced and victim can feel that they have the support of the society globally. You know, after the Holocaust, the words say never again. And I think that is just the first thing is to respect what we said and just said, okay, now what is happening? Where are we going? And this can happen everywhere. And we need really to be aware when it happened and just say, we already said that never again. This is one sense. But we can see that today the international law and the humanitarian law are not at all respected. And if it's not respected somewhere in the planet, it can't be respected at another places. And we don't need to wait until it's happening in our places. No. We need to act before it happened to us. And if each of us can understand that I have the responsibility to protect others, I have the responsibility to say never again. And when it happens again, I have the responsibility to protest against this. I think that it's only what we can do. But when we keep silence, it's like just we say, okay, it can happen to others, but not to me. But we know that if the law is not respected, it can happen everywhere. Yep. So I think the responsibility, today we can see that what is happening in different wars are not respected at all. The humanity. And to bomb hospitals, to kill patients in their beds, to kill children and so on. I think that it's just kind of barbaric things are coming back, and without respect the humanitarian law, we need really to go back and say this is not acceptable what is happening. But we have the impression that the indignation is selective. Yeah, I think that it's only when you can put yourself at the situation of the people who are suffering, and you just get this impression that what happened to them, if it could me, what could be my reaction to get the support, to feel that someone cared about my situation. And I think that this kind of compassion is only to try to don't say he deserves this suffering. It's not for me, but no one can deserve suffering. So for me, it's not a courage. It's just to see others as myself. And just feel if I was in this situation, how I could feel if others could just take care of myself. I think that this lack of empathy is growing in our society. We have impressions that people have impressions that it's not my problem, and this is sad. When you can take time to talk with people who are suffering, you can understand that. Sometimes just say hello can be enough for someone to say, okay, there are people who care about me, or a smile. I've seen many women who were very happy to see that people can just smile, give hello, and that they have impression that they exist. So we can do sometimes small things to change the life of others. But I don't know, we are in the society where really I can see, especially in my country, and wonder the violence, how people can use this kind of violence against others without thinking that for themselves. It happened for themselves. No, I think that I'm still operating, but to operate is already to work on consequences. And what we need is to prevent that this atrocity to happen. And I think that the voice is really for to prevent these atrocities to happen. And I have the impression that with the Nobel Peace Prize, it's a voice just to talk about this question, to bring more people to just to talk about this question and prevent that this kind of atrocities can happen, especially in wartime. This is really the goal, is not to go on operating, is to stop to operate so people can understand that there is no reason to do or to destroy children and women in the war. And if we can reach this goal, so this kind of surgery will stop itself. So to be in the operating room, and this is one of the reasons I decide to leave the operating room and talk about what is happening in war. It was because it was not acceptable to see all these young girls and children were coming at the hospital wounded after to be raped with extreme violence. And for me, I think that really to talk about it, to prevent it, was the most important things to do. And with Nobel Peace Prize, it's a voice, and I think that the voice can help to prevent.